Good morning, guys. Happy Monday. I hope everyone is blessed. I hope everyone has had an amazing weekend as well. Amazing to be connected or reconnected, should I say, on these daily market outlooks with yourself. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll notice that I put something, not Instagram, well, Instagram as well, of course, but if you also follow me on Telegram, my Telegram group, you'll notice that I took a week or so off just to chill, basically. A week away from the charts, a week away from anything. We had family over here visiting us in Spain as well, so it was good to have some time off. But we are back on the daily market outlook videos, and I'm excited. Excuse the mess in the background. We have bags, we have chargers, we have everything. I need to clean it up, but if I'm honest, I could not be bothered this morning, so I do apologize. But yeah, as always, guys, if you're not staying connected with myself, make sure that you do. Make sure that you guys are connected via my socials, my bio on YouTube. On this YouTube channel, we have my Instagram and my Telegram group in there as well. So if you want to stay connected, if you're wondering, obviously, what I get up to on a daily basis, maybe or maybe not, make sure you guys are obviously in my socials or on my socials, should I say. Now, just before we do get started, if I can quickly find what I am looking for, which I don't think I can, I want to obviously just create a disclaimer for you guys who are completely new. You guys should obviously already know. If not, can you guys see my screen? I don't think you can for some weird reason. One second, guys. Share. Let me just try and find. But as you guys should already know, I don't think it's on my screen just as of yet. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Wow, you can tell I've been away from recording for a while. But as you guys know, the content on this channel is for educational and informational purposes only. I am not a financial advisor, and nothing shared in my video should be considered financial or investment or even trading advice. Understand that trading and investing involves risk, and you should always conduct your own research before making any financial decisions. So yeah, let's get straight into this video and the daily market outlook. It is, as I think I've already said, the Monday, the 7th of April. So we had NFP on Friday. Yep, NFP on Friday, which caused some movement inside of the markets. Now, going into this week, you'll be able to notice that Monday and Tuesday, we don't have any red folder news. But then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we have some red folder news. So Monday and Tuesday, let's see how they plan out in regards to movements with inside of the markets. So let me just, you guys should be able to see my screen, I think. Okay, amazing, perfect. Let's get straight into a daily market outlook. Okay, perfect. So following structure from a daily, let's always start off with the dollar. You'll be able to notice that if we just simply focus on the dollar, you can see that the market was obviously creating that downtrend and higher lower lows and lower highs that we've currently been creating. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Now, as you guys can see, when we consolidated, we started to move up, and then we had this big break from news. So we had this big breaking this low that's created a new daily range from this high to this low. Obviously, you guys will notice that I was talking for a while to come and meet this daily demand area and fill in this imbalance here. Now, we obviously haven't quite had that. So it's going to be interesting to see. We can get that as a potential, because we do have a lot of imbalance. Could the market, with this big news from NFP, want to carry this market on to rebalance this whole area here? So a bit interesting to see. But if we're just focusing where we're currently at right now, you'll be able to notice that, we've obviously liquidated these highs. So we've not closed above this daily lower high. We've just wicked up above from a daily standpoint. So what is that telling you guys? Well, we obviously know that if we don't obviously get that daily candle closure above, then more likely it will be a liquidation. So if I go now to the 4 hour, what can we see? So you can see that the 4 hour, we've got, 1, 2, 3, and now we're on our fourth. We're failing to obviously close above that range as we speak. So obviously, could we see the market potentially move away from this area? Could we see the market potentially, carry on its trend from this area? That's one thought that we can obviously all agree on. But what can we have? Well, what do we have to wait for? So we drop down to the 1 hour. What do we have to wait for? So on the 1 hour, you'll be able to see that obviously we have gone from this big bullish range and we are slowly seeming to have that change of trend. We slowed down. We had this one break here, this change of trend here. So what would I be waiting for currently right now? So that would be a 1 hour change of trend. We've had that candle closure. We have retraced now sorry, one sec. We have retraced now from this high to this low into around the 618 area. If you want to put it to this high, we've retraced above that. So obviously, could we see another break? So my initial thought is I want to see if we can see potentially another break. So you have the consolidation. That could, some people class that as a break, but for 1 hour, this is my break. Could we see another break? If we get another break, then I'll be looking to potentially sell this downwards. I want to see another 1 hour break just for an extra confirmation. But if we go back to the daily, so let me just have a look. If we go back to the daily, you'll be able to notice that yes, we've obviously liquidated this high. But of course, we obviously had this big institutional candle, and then where have we come back into? The market's dropped, and naturally, I want you guys to understand that even though it's massive, this is a daily demand area that's in control as we speak. So, we filled in that little imbalance here. If the market was to carry on upwards from here, that could 100% potentially happen. So just make sure that you guys are aware of that. Of course, I would rather see the downwards movement happen. So that's why I will be waiting for the structure to obviously play out from here. So that is what I'm potentially looking at with your US dollar. Going over to Euro USD, what can we see? So as always, let's start off on the daily time frame. And as you guys can currently see, the daily time frame, we're in this daily supply, but we've got this daily range, daily higher low, daily higher high. So we've got a clear daily range. Now for me, what is in control? Yes, we've tapped into this daily supply area, which had imbalance, which could be the catapult to obviously carry this trend on downwards. But one thing I want you guys to understand as well is this whole movement down, I know it's a massive area, but this whole sell down is probably a weekly demand area. It's a weekly and daily. This is a pullback, and then we had the catapult. So yes, understand that. If you look at the actual time frame, we are currently tapping in below the 50%. We're filled in any imbalance, and we're in this daily, weekly demand area. So if the market, again, like I said last time, to the dollar, if it was to carry on upwards, that is a potential that could happen. So again, that is what could happen from this standpoint. Now, if we drop down to the 4 hour time frame, let's just get rid of this for now. You'll be able to notice that the 4 hour has tapped into obviously this this consolidation stage where they had obviously imbalance above. Now 4 hour is the same as the daily, so 4 hour we are in 4 hour demand is in control. If you focus on this area right here, you'll be able to notice that it's ugly, but this is a 4 hour demand area. We've got a consolidation, we have this imbalance from here, and this is where we're obviously currently reacting from. So the daily and the 4 hour, if you look, daily 4 hour are both in demands. This is a big pullback. This is a pullback, and then we had that moving up. So that is a valid demand area. This area here is our 4 hour as well, and also we tapped below that 50% mark as well. So could we see the catapult of could we see the trend carry on from here? Yes, we can. Now we drop down to the 1 hour. What can we see? So if you look at the 1 hour, and if we just follow the trend of what's happening, you'll be able to notice that the 1 hour had this downtrend here. We had this break, so we changed the trend, 1 hour change the trend, 1 hour break. I'm going to sneeze again. We had another break here, and then we had this movement up. So what does that movement tell me? So that movement told me that we had a internal change of trend here. We come back down into this demand, and now we broke above this area. So let's just mark this out fully so you guys can see. You've got my 1 hour change of trend there. You got my 1 hour break structure there, and then we had this internal 1 hour break of structure here as well. Ooh. So let's mark that out. Pardon me. And then we had a break above here, internal change of trend again, as you guys can see. So we had change of trend, break structure, another one here, because look, we had pullback, and then we come back, pullback, break, and then we broke above. Then we met this demand area, and now we've broken above again. So what is that telling me? That's telling me that the demand is in control, and that we could potentially see this carry on upwards. So let me mark this out, and you guys should be able to see it clear. This is a 1 hour demand area here. That's where we tapped into. And then that demand area broke above again. And then where are we looking to buy? Well, this area here is our last sell before the movement up. So you can see that this level of demand is currently in control. So again, from my point of view, I would potentially like to see the market carry on upwards from this area personally. So that is where I'm currently at for Euro USD. Let's drop over to GBP USD and see what's happening there. So same as always, daily time frame, what can we see? So we obviously have this daily range. We had this daily higher low and this daily higher high. Now, we haven't quite met a supply area, but we have tapped into this imbalance here. So if you notice, we have a little imbalance on the daily time frame here, which is where the market is currently reacting from. So that is a daily imbalance. So that's where the market is reacting from right now. We do have, again, like I said, a lot of this imbalance to fill. But let's just focus on what's happening, because again, we have this daily range of this daily higher low to this daily higher high, but the candle hasn't finished below this. So if the candle hasn't finished below this, what could that be telling me? That could be telling me that this could just have liquidated, which is what this this sign is here, and we could see the market carry on upwards. So we drop down to the 4 hour. What can we see going on? Same scenario. We're in this daily demand, but we've liquidated. We've liquidated all these lows from anyone who's still in bias on the news. So can we see some sort of confirmation to obviously carry on upwards? In regards to the 4 hour trend, we can't really focus on that right now, because this would be our next supply area. But if I just drop down to the 1 hour, what can we currently see? So what we can currently see is pretty much the same as what we talked about with Euro USD. You can see that we obviously had a big downtrend. We had this as a internal break of structure from a 1 hour. So you can see we had a pullback and then a break again. And then what happened there? We had another break of structure here, change of trend from a 1 hour. So then we had this 1 hour change of trend. And then where is the market kind of reacting out from? So the market pulled back into this demand area. It's probably better on the 15-minute. And then the market's moved away again. So it's nowhere near as clear as Euro USD, but you can see a little bit more. You can see that this demand area was met here, and then we've come in below here. So I'm not personally interested in GBP USD. I'm more interested in Euro USD. But I am expecting the market, if you look out, this demand area was here, and then we're inside of this demand area here. So I'm expecting the market to carry on upwards from here. But again, I'm talking more so from a standpoint judging off Euro USD, because if Euro USD goes up and the dollar goes down, obviously we expect GBP USD as well to carry on upwards. Going back to this, you can see why I expect the dollar to carry on downwards. We had this so let me go to that. We had this consolidation, we had the change of trend from here. We then pulled back into a demand supply, and then we had another break here. So right now, as I've just explained to you, if we expect the dollar euro USD to carry on upwards, then obviously do we expect a movement away from this area on US dollar? So yeah, pretty clear to understand as of right now. Let's see how it plans out, of course. And then that leads me, of course, onto AUD USD. So AUD USD, as you guys can currently see, let me just mark this out here. clearly we have obviously a daily range that anyone can notice. We've got this daily lower high, this daily lower low. So naturally, when we have these ranges, obviously, what do we expect? We expect the market to, come back up to rebalance this market and then potentially move away. So that is what we expect to see. So where is my daily demand area? Well, my daily daily supply area is this big candle here. That will be my daily supply candle. So that's where I expect the market to come into. So if I drop down now to the 4 hour, what can I see? Well, you can see that we're we're slowing down a lot. As of right now, I can't really see where we're slowing down from. It may be on a weekly time frame. It might be in a yeah, we're in around this area, so there could be a weekly, daily demand candle. But if we drop back down to the 4, you'll be able to notice that, of course, we are slowing down. So I can't see no significant trend happening on the 4 hour. So if I just drop to the 1 hour, can I see anything clearer? Well, no, I can't as of right now. So as of right now, all I can see is a downwards trend. You can see that we had obviously this pullback, and then we had this. So that is my 1 hour range. So let's just focus on that for right now. This was a 1 hour break. 1 hour. So the range currently for this area is this area here, from this low to this high. Where are we currently reacting from? Well, we're currently reacting from this supply area. Let me just mark this out. I don't know why it's playing up today. It's on strong. Wheat magnet. Yeah, so we're currently reacting from this 1 hour supply area. So again, depending on what the dollar's going to do, that's where we make our decision, because as of right now, sales is in control in regards to AUD USD from this area. So, understand that obviously we expect the market to carry on upwards. Now, of course, this is where it's contradicting, because we're talking from a different aspect with the US dollar. Is the dollar going to carry on upwards, or the lower time frames telling me that the dollar is going to carry on downwards? And then obviously we look at Euro USD, and Euro USD has a more of a change of trend that's happening from the break, change of trend, and then another break. So we expect the market to retrace and then carry on from here. Whereas your AUD USD is telling us something completely different. So for me, everything revolves around what the dollar is going to do. So if the dollar carries upwards, I'm looking at selling AUD USD. If the dollar's going to carry on downwards, then obviously if you look, if the dollar's going to carry on upwards, I'm going to look to sell AUD USD. If the dollar's going to carry on downwards, and this is the trend that's going to happen carrying on downwards, I'm going to look to obviously wait for this break to happen, this change of trend. So let's say that we got this range here. Let's say we get that and we break above this high, then obviously I'm going to look for a demand area to carry this trend on upwards. So that is something to keep an eye on with AUD USD. NZUSD, I don't like the look of. As you can see, this is a trade idea that we had last week with USD CAD. I mean me. So we look at this. I'll explain why it was a trade idea as well. So as you guys can currently see, daily range, daily lower high, daily lower low. Now, let's just zoom out. Where can you see the market is currently reacting from? Well, the market is currently reacting from this demand candle here with imbalance above. So that is a valid daily demand candle. So that's where the market is currently reacting from. So if I drop down to the 4 hour, why was I looking to sell in this area? And why is it still pretty much only just kept me in? Which I don't expect it to be fair, but why was I looking to sell this area? Well, first and foremost, I've refined it to a 2 hour supply area. As you guys can see, it says 2. I've refined it to a 2 hour supply area. But if you look at this 4 hour supply, so we had an uptrend, we had this 4 hour break, and then where did we come back into this 4 hour supply? Then we had another change of trend here from a 1 hour. Where did this wick come back into this 4 hour supply? Then we had another break. So naturally, yes, the 4 hour supply area is this whole area here. That is a 4 hour supply. So we are still in that 4 hour supply. I just liked the look of this consolidation stage here. So that's why I preferred this. Let me get rid of this. That's why I preferred to have a look at this 2 hour supply area. Now, if I drop down to the 1 hour, you can see that there was no real, from 1 hour higher time frame, there was no like imbalance or anything. So that's why I liked this consolidation area. But obviously right now we are currently, as you guys can see, consolidating. So what is that telling me? So dropping back down to the 4, you can see we're in this, let's just get rid of this. We're in this 4 hour supply area. So we expect the market from a 4 hour time frame to carry on downwards from here. Now, in order for us to have extra confirmation, we would need to see our 1 hour trend broke. So let's focus on what's happening with the 1 hour currently. So as you guys can currently see, let's just focus. We have obviously higher high, higher low, come back up, pull back. We then go up, pull back. We then go up, pull back, and then we just consolidate. And then we had this range break. So I don't class it. I class this as more of a consolidation stage. I'm not classing this as like a valid lower high, and this is a new lower low. I'm waiting for a clear break. So if I was to get a clear break, so where you're 100% certain, okay, yeah, that is a clear break with imbalance, then I'll be happy to look for sells. But as we look at this currently right now, what demand is in control? Well, for me, this demand area is currently in control as we speak. This demand area is currently in control, this 1 hour demand area. So, I'm not looking to sell this right now until we get a significant change of trend. If I drop down half of the time frame, can it be a little bit more clear? Let's see. Let's get rid of this. So you can see that, yeah, choppy, and then we're just consolidating. Like this is a whole range of consolidation. So if I was to participate in this, I would be stupid to be fair. Yes, obviously that is a demand area, and this is another 15, 30 minutes, sorry, demand area, which we could carry on upwards from. But I'm just not interested until I see a significant change of trend. I like to see these candles. That is a break, and you can see why the market retraces and why we want to get into this movement down. Here is just consolidating. So USD CAD, I'm going to sit on my hands and wait to see what happens. USD CHF, let's see, USD Swiss franc. And we go to the daily time frame. Again, we expect to see the market, basically rebalance itself. This is currently my range right now. I want to see the market come up here. So naturally, from a daily standpoint, we want to see, as always, a retracement. That is our first thought. Now, if you go down to the 4 hour, what can we see? Well, from a 4 hour, we can see that we had obviously bearishness, we had a little pullback, this, and then we've had, I wouldn't really class it as a change of trend from a 4 hour, but potentially on a 1 hour it could be. But we had the pullback down, and then we're failing to break this low at the moment. So 4 hours not as clear as we would like. So let's drop down to the 1 hour and then what can we see? So if we look at the 1 hour, you can see that we had obviously this movement down, pullback, this movement down. And then for me, let's see if the candle closes above this. The candle closure didn't close above this high. So again, that is just a liquidation. That's why we've seen this market moving down. So a lot of people will be looking at this going, oh, that's a change of trend. So I need to be looking for buyers from, this demand area, and then you would have got stopped out. So as you guys can see, it's not closed above. That is a wick. So let's give it this. You can see a bit more. It's a wick above. So that is not a candle closure on the 1 hour or the 4 hour. So I would not have been looking for anything other than sells. Of course, right now, we've had this change of this break here. Oh, you can see it's a 1 hour. This break below, let me just move that down, which is here. But again, same scenario, 1 hour, but we've not had the candle closure above. So if you look at the trend happening here, sorry, what is it telling me? Well, it's telling me nothing, man, because I've got no clear direction of where I want to be looking to participate in buying or selling USD. Oh, pardon me, USD Swiss franc. So for me, I'm not closed below this. I'm not closed above this. So what am I doing? Just like guessing the game? No, I'm not. I'm going to wait for a clear direction with this trend before participating with it. So again, USD CHF, USD CAD, I'm not interested in. Euro USD, obviously, we have this area, but as I mentioned before, we are, of course, keeping an eye on the dollar because if we look at the dollar from a daily standpoint, as I mentioned before, this is a big institutional candle, and we have, oh, need this on. We have haven't met, sorry, we haven't met the 50%, so that's where I would like to see the market come into. But obviously, if you look at this whole area, we've met this demand area here, even though it's a horrible daily demand area, which could be the catapult to obviously carry this trend on upwards. So it's going to be interesting. It's Monday. Obviously, we can sit on our hands a little bit and wait out to see what the market's going to do, of course. But yeah, let's just wait and be patient with this. But yeah, going into USD Japanese yen, you can see that we have this daily demand area right now. We didn't quite tap into it, but we almost did. We did fill in the imbalance. So could we market come into this a little bit more potentially? Again, you can see the daily lower high and this daily lower low. If I drop down to the 4 hour, what is happening right now? Well, what's happening right now is you can see that we're consolidating. So the market is deciding what to do right now. So we're consolidating, and what is that telling me? Well, that's telling me that I just need to be patient. I'm an investor. I want to invest my money in the right projects. So with this being said, I'm not interested in nothing until we obviously get a break above. Now, of course, you can tell me that we had this downtrend, and then we had this area here, which could be classed as a change of trend, which is valid for 100%. Pardon me. 100%. Where did we then come back into? Well, we come back into this last candle here, which is where the market started to move away from. And that's where the market is currently still at. So yeah, you could say that we had this downtrend and then it's had this 1 hour change of trend. So what I'd be waiting currently, if with this was to carry on upwards, I would wait for this area to be broke above. If you can, this will be issue 1. And then if we defo break above this one, then of course that'll be even better. Even better. I don't mind, I've put 1 hour on here. But yeah, you can see if we can break above this, you can obviously then look to participate from here. So let's say we get market moves above that. Or if you're a little bit more cautious, you could wait for this area and then we can look to participate in buying this up. But yeah, it is not as clear as you guys probably like, as I would like as well. So I'm waiting to just see what is going to happen today. Obviously, we don't have much news, so I don't really know if we're going to get any sort of movement within inside of the market. It is going to be interesting, of course. But my main focus, as I've already mentioned, is the US dollar. The US dollar is my main focus. I would like to see a retracement, of course, but it doesn't mean that it's going to happen. Yeah, let's see how today basically plans out. And going over to the news, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we should obviously have a lot more volatility that happens or is happening inside of the markets. But yeah, guys, other than that, I appreciate you guys as always. We will catch up tomorrow morning on another daily market outlook. I appreciate you as all. Appreciate you all as always. That was a tongue twister for me. And yeah, man, take care. God bless.